boom, 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 boom. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? Sup? Yeah, it's your boy Nick Shine in the building. We got Detroit Mail in the building. We got Wildcard Mar in the building. Episode 148 I.O.W. Sports. We are here. We are live, and I hope that everybody is having a fantastic Monday. And
what's the first time that you didn't call me the big homie? What was going on, man? We're not friends no more.
What? Big never just call me by my name. Jacket make you look skinny.
It's
a jacket. Make you look skinny.
Hey, yo, welcome everybody. I.O.W. Sports. We got the big homie Nick Shine in the building. Detroit Man, the man with the Grandmaster plan in the building. And of course, Wildcard Mar, I.O.W. Sports, episode 148. We in the building. How's everybody doing today? Everybody having a fantastic Monday?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. You ain't had to smack nobody today at work?
Nah, it was kind of cool today.
Kind of cool today. Nick, you ain't had to smack nobody today?
The pimp hand in my pocket.
Not yet. The day is young, though.
What up, man?
Look, they still young, right? They is still young.
I've been sitting on the hand to keep it warm, just in case.
Keep it warm.
Breaking news. Hold up. Breaking news.
And that's what I was about to say. I saw.
Go ahead.
I just got the alert. DeAndre Hopkins suspended for 6 games to start the season.
Whoa!
Violating NFL performance-enhancing
drug policy.
That's how he got that Hail Mary over 4 Buffalo.
Now
it all makes sense.
He's taking hymns.
When we get a little bit more details, we'll definitely dive a little bit deeper into that conversation because
Viagra count. It's performance enhancing.
It's performance. I can't with you, dog. I see you starting already.
Just check it.
No, can we at least get the preliminaries out of the way? No, you asking for yourself, motherfucker. No.
4 p.m. seems to be the elite time for breaking news. Like how many times should we start a show? And I'm like, breaking news, and Lamar hasn't even gotten the preliminary stuff.
I ain't got none of it out. No,
he already came in the door capping. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It happens all the time here on I.O.W. Sports. We always tend to break news. But look, let's get the preliminaries out before something else breaking drops. So y'all going over to the YouTube channel, I.O.W. Sports Network. Like, share, subscribe. Please hit that bell notification. Let you know every time that we go live, drop a content or pop-up show, Wildcard Mar, quick route rant, money line with Nick Shine, whatever it is we do at I.O.W. Sports. Hit that like, share, and that bell. It'll let you know every time we drop something. Definitely show us some love right there. You can always follow us on the Instagram page. You see it scrolling on the bottom of your screen. Go to Instagram at I.O.W. Sports
And if you
Network.
find, you can always follow me to my house.
His house. Now mine. My DMs is dried up. I don't want no problems in my household. So go to his.
I'm trying to keep it being dried up. Come out of the house.
Or go to Nick. You can always follow us on Twitter as well. At I.O.W. Sports 1. Definitely follow us and show us some love there. But most importantly, going over to the Facebook page.
Right.
I.O.W. Sports Network. You can definitely go there. And this is more open for the public. Gives you a chance to drop a comment, drop a hot take to start a conversation. If you have a sports podcast, let the people know what kind of content you got. We love to collaborate, so don't be scared to reach out. We'll hey, it's happened so many times. One of the three of us will end up on another podcast somewhere, and then next thing you know, we got a podcast family. We emphasize big on the network, so if you got a small business or something like that, that's where the place you need to be to drop your content and let people know what you got. And most importantly, you see the Cash App at the end on the bottom of the screen. You see the hats that me and Detroit Mail are rocking. Drop $30 to that Cash App. Give us an address, and you will get the exclusive I.O.W. caps shipped to your house, and you can rock some I.O.W. merch for you. And as well, if you go to the Facebook page, top link that is pinned up there, there is a link to the rest of the merch. But look, now that we got all that out the way, he had some breaking news, of course, with DeAndre Hopkins. We'll get to that in just a minute. But big weekend for the NFL. I can admit to myself and that all 3 of our teams of I.O.W. that we root for, the New York Jets, the Detroit Lions, and the Kansas City Chiefs, me personally, I thought all 3 of our teams hit home runs in the draft. But
let me add one more to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of our probably our most loyal viewer, Matthew's New York Giants had a very good draft.
They did.
Matt's a big part of our show with his commentary, and very loyal viewer. I will add him to that list too.
That is true. That is my bad, Matt. You know,
That's all right.
I don't like your taste in basketball team, but you know, your team did well in the draft. They did do well in the draft.
Because it's the name. You don't support anything that has the word Nick in
it. But no, our residential draft guru, the big homie Nick Shine, who is way better than Mel Kiper, he's going to give us a breakdown.
You got better hair.
You get better hair?
Yeah.
Better face lettuce. Better face lettuce. Definitely better face lettuce.
I'm easy on the eyes, man. I'm easy on the eyes.
Whoa, don't push it. Don't push it.
What is this?
Don't push it.
Cat Monday?
Hey, bro, no, don't throw me in there. Don't throw me in there.
Nobody tell me it's a holiday.
Happy holiday.
At 3:00, I hopped on. I did one of my Proud New York Jets fans podcasts. I just ended a couple minutes before the show started here. And I had a big reveal. For those that know me, know that I have not worn a Jets jersey since October of 2010, when Leon, my sister and her boyfriend at the time, came over for my birthday and gave me a Leon Washington jersey. They were playing at Oakland, and for those of you that know, it was the Mark Sanchez eating a hot dog on the sideline game. So if you remember that game, an hour and 15 minutes after I put the jersey on, Leon Washington ruptures his leg and ankle in like 15 different places. I have not worn a Jets jersey since. This past November, my best friend and his family moved from New Jersey down to Florida. And he's a Raider fan. But before he left, he's like, here. He brought me over to the house one day. I was helping them move some stuff. He's like, this is for you.
Hey, guess what, Matt? I'll slam the fakers my damn self. I don't need you to do it.
And debuting for the first time today. Since
no way.
Jets killed the draft.
Is that a Namath? Oh my goodness.
You know what we got here?
Is that a Chad Pennington jersey?
You know what this is called? This is called championship vibes. That's what this is.
That's the Verdi jersey?
No, Vinny was 16. Chad was 10. This is Joe Namath, baby. And it's the first time I'm wearing it. And I tell you right now, I am fucking giddy over the draft and what the Jets did.
Yeah, they did a good job. They did a real good
They had an awesome job. So without further ado, big homie Nick Shine, take it away. I'm going to ask you a few questions. Give me some of the teams. We're not going to start with the positive because I think we got some of the teams covered. So give me some of the teams that you thought did a terrible job in the draft this weekend.
New England.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. God.
New England.
My first pick was disgusting.
If you follow Ghetto Gronk on Instagram, which is where I get all of my offensive sports memes that I text message you guys, I get them all from Ghetto Gronk. Follow Ghetto Gronk and Ghetto Gronk 2 on Instagram.
And you went ham on the Patriots?
He's got a video of Cole Strange, the guard that they took at number 29, getting blown up and knocked on his ass like 6-7 times in the Senior Bowl. Like getting thrown to the ground like a rag doll. The video of Sean McVay and the GM laughing at the Patriot pick is the greatest thing I saw all weekend, non-Jet related. It was fantastic. McVay, who looks drunk and high on cocaine, I might add. Like his eyes are bugging out of his head. He's like, Cole Strange, man, why did we watch film on this guy thinking he was going to be there at 104? It's the greatest fucking legit, I'm drunk and high NFL coach comment I've ever seen in my entire life. It was fantastic.
Damon King, what's up, brother?
Followed it up with taking a wide receiver, Thornton, who you could have had in round 4 also.
Right.
Like, I don't get it. I mean, I know the Patriots have drafted well in the mid-rounds, but the Patriots have a lot of misses early in the draft.
They have a lot of misses.
They got a lot of misses throughout the years. So I think the Patriots had a really bad draft with the players that they took. I'm not going to shit on the teams that didn't have picks because somebody like the Rams, they've used their picks for good veterans. The Dolphins used their picks for Tyreek Hill. But the Patriots are the team that stands out most to me.
Yeah, me too.
Of being the flop of the weekend. You could have traded down 3 more times. and got Cole Strange.
But my thing too, though, Nick, at the time they was picking, there still was some great offensive linemen
on the board
from schools way bigger than Chattanooga.
Well, no, not just on the board. They just had better players at the same position.
Yeah, and I'm like, why are we picking him?
Well, and here's my thing.
Why are you saying? Wait. Why are you saying we for a Patriots pick? Are you transitioning?
Oh, no.
No, sir. I'm staying a man.
You would never see that.
No, I'm just saying though. It's like, why would you pick them? If anything, he should have been like something you picking a 7th round development player,
5th
or 6th, whatever. He would have still been there. Someone you could develop.
Fourth might still be too early.
Right.
And you had Shaq Mason, who you voluntarily traded to Tampa Bay to protect Tom Brady. You could have just kept Shaq Mason and been better. If you're gonna move a guy, get better.
Right. That didn't make any sense.
And they gave Shaq Mason away for nothing. They gave Shaq Mason away for like literally some crumpets and tea.
Right.
Like that's
more breaking news. The Tyrann Mathieu to the Saints is official with 3 years, $33 million. The numbers just came out.
Okay.
He can have that. Just to speak on that real quick, when the Chiefs signed Tyrann Mathieu 3 years ago, it was 3 years, $42 million, and got us a Super Bowl in his first year, 2019. Went back 2020 his second year. His last year just went to another AFC Championship game. But in this past season, a lot of people don't remember this. I remember it because obviously I'm a Chiefs fan. He went on Twitter, him and Anthony Hitchens, with no surprise why both of them are no longer in Chiefs uniforms, had the audacity to say that Kansas City Chiefs fans are the most toxic fan base. And believe me, that did not go over well. And obviously because neither one of them are both in Chiefs uniform no more, but we didn't care that you helped brought us to Super Bowl. You shit on the fans. That front office remembered that. They didn't even really offer to Tyrann Mathieu. We signed Justin Reed for 3 years, $31 million, and he's 25, younger, slightly bigger, so he's definitely going to tackle more. Yes, I'm slightly throwing shade on Tyrann Mathieu for his tackling skills at safety, so slightly, yes, I am. And so, he just got signed. He's been on the market for almost 3 months. There's a reason for that. So, hey, God bless you, Tyrann Mathieu. You go back home to New Orleans, but, you had your 3 years of success that you'll probably ever get in the NFL. So you're welcome. And thank you for what you did for one Super Bowl. But, you priced yourself out at Kansas City. And, hey, good for you, bro. I mean, you got your 3 years, $31 million, but you could have had that same money in Kansas City had you kept your mouth shut. But that's just me. We'll keep it moving. Sorry, ran over.
Sorry. Did somebody play Justin Timberlake, Cry Me a River? Because that's what it sounds like right now.
Oh no, trust. Not crying. Because trust, after free agency and draft, had to get something off my chest. Yeah. Say it with your chest.
Get that clown off of our show. We said it a couple weeks ago. I think I said that Mathieu was going to be a post-draft signing, and literally, like the day after the draft ends, they were full negotiation. So, I mean, that's where he is now, right? That he's a very good player. He's a smart player. He brings a lot to the table. I think it's better than Williams, the safety that they had and that they lost. I like Mathieu's game. Don't forget, man, I say it all the time. The Saints were 5-2 with Jameis Winston before he tore his knee. And I don't think it's very far off of them. If Michael Thomas comes back, I say if, because we cannot count on Michael Thomas to do anything but complain the last 2 years. And now you add Olave, and you still got Kamara, and you replaced Armstead with Trevor Penning, a nasty tackle who's like bodies people. He reminds me of Kyle Turley. Remember Kyle Turley?
Yes.
Through the Damian Robinson's helmet in the Jet game on Sunday Night Football.
Oh yeah, I remember Kyle Turley. He was a Chief before he retired, so I remember Kyle Turley.
It was Sunday Night Football because I was watching the Yankees lose Game 7 on the to the Diamondbacks.
I remember that.
And Kyle Turley was throwing Damian Robinson's helmet on the screen right next to it at the bar I was at. So, but he's nasty. He's a finisher. He gets his hands on you, and he will drive you and slam you to the ground. Smile, laugh. He'll be the one having like the John Randall like face paint on, like with the Warrior face paint. That's the type of guy Trevor Penning is. So you get Winston back healthy. That's a team that can compete for division. Because
here's my question real quick, Nick. Here's my question real quick. And me and you talked about this. What's the deal with Michael Thomas, man? I look, I get that the Saints they did get some picks. They did help, whoever's going to be at quarterback. More than likely, in my opinion, is going to be Jameson, crab legs. But Michael Thomas, something's got to be done with this situation. Is he either going to suit up or you got to go packing? Something is either one or the other. Because a guy that has an ankle injury for a year and a half, almost 2 years, I've never heard of it. Almost a 2-year ankle injury. Never heard of it. First in my lifetime I've ever heard of. You ever heard of a 2-year ankle injury?
Not that I heard.
Nick, have you ever heard of a 2-year ankle injury?
Yeah, me, but not for somebody who's 25, young, athletic, and in shape.
Call the wife.
I stubbed a toe. I'm on the DL for like 3 years at this point in life. But not if I'm young, athletic, and an athlete in the NFL in my mid-20s. No. This is I lost Drew Brees. I can't get 140 catches without him. Moment. And then, yes, it deserved a double wah.
Man, no.
But I think it's a good pickup for them. I think it's a team that still has an upper end defense, and I think it's a good move. I would pick them to win the division. I really would. I think Tampa Bay is going to implode this year. It's not because of Brady declining. It's not because of Arians not coaching and then Bowles stepping in. I just think everybody has a small window. And they hit on that 1 year. But, man, it's very, very – I think the Rams are even better than they were last year.
Yeah.
I think the Saints will be better. I don't think that Tampa's going to cakewalk to the division.
Oh, no.
They came down a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams don't end up with the 2 seed, because I think if the Bucks, don't end up with the 2 seed and they got to play the Rams before the conference finals, they're not making it.
All right. Let's
that's looking ahead. We'll get to that.
Yeah. So we got a couple of flop teams in New England, and a couple of teams, of course, that didn't really have a lot of draft picks, like the Rams in Miami, or they kind of trade away a lot of their picks that you get from veteran players. Let's go to a shocking moments. What are some of the shocking moments of this draft that you saw that happen, big homie Nick?
The top story for me is Nakobe Dean falling as far as he did.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And the reason that everyone was saying all weekend, I'm sure you were all watching the same shows I did. He has a shoulder thing. He declined surgery, and his size being small, man, that fucking kid's a player. Like,
I mean, they said
you got to take the measurements. You got to take the measurements. You got to take the tests. You got to take some of that shit and throw it out the window, and you got to go back to the old eye test. And I don't think there's a single person who's watched Nakobe Dean play football that says, oh, he's not a player. I'm shocked that he fell that far. Great pick by Philly. You had Jordan Davis in the middle, and now you got Nakobe Dean behind him with that speed. No one's getting to Nakobe Dean. You got Jordan Davis in front of him. So the fall of Nakobe Dean, no one quarterback, Pickett, taken in the first 2 rounds. Yeah, I wasn't the only one that had Malik Willis going in the top 10. A lot of experts did. That was an absolute shock.
I was shocked that Pittsburgh didn't pick him.
Yeah. Talking about Malik Willis?
Yeah, I thought Pittsburgh would pick him.
Oh, where did Malik end up going? He went
to God.
Where did Malik end up going, Nick?
Malik Willis?
Yeah.
Where the fuck did he go? I'm looking
Tennessee.
at it now.
One in Tennessee?
Tennessee. Yes, he did go to Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh, okay, so let's.
I like him in Tennessee though.
Yeah, but let's talk about it real quick.
Good young athletic quarterback who can.
What I say about Tannehill?
Ryan Tannehill's athletic.
Thank you. Well, because they just paid Tannehill.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
They just paid Ryan Tannehill. Remember
you take him as a project. If you're not taking him in 1 or 2, you're not taking him in 3 to start this year, or maybe
no.
Oh no.
You're
quarterback that you can do what you did with Mariota in Tennessee. You can have a package for him to come in, change a pace. Tannenhill's a college wide receiver. You could put Tannenhill out wide. You know, you can have Willis in the backfield. You can be creative with his athleticism and a strong arm. You can run a play action with Henry, boot him, and then hit somebody deep downfield. But yeah, I see a project, a long-term investment.
Here's the thing I'll say though, Nick.
Shoot.
I think that the best thing for him to do is just to sit and learn for a year. I think if you try to do
it's minimum a year.
I'm saying, but if you try to do, they try to do with Hill over in New Orleans. Why can't I think his name?
Tamo.
Tamo. I think that's gonna stunt his growth. You know what I'm saying? I think he should sit and learn how to be a quarterback. Because you start him off with a bunch of gimmick stuff and wildcats and stuff like that. He's not really developing his quarterback chops. He's not getting those developed. I think he should sit at least for a year or two, but at least a year, and just learn how to be an NFL quarterback. You know, tighten up some of those things that he needs to tighten up, get those skills down. And then in the second year, if you want to use them, you know, with a bunch of trick plays and stuff like that, he kind of got his feet wet. He kind of understand how to be a quarterback. I think that helps him. I think that's if Tennessee uses him right, he could be a great quarterback.
I was shocked that with Tennessee is because you literally just gave Tannehill some money, and I agree with both y'all takes. There's no way that Malik Willis is going to be seeing the field, and you know, barring injury or suspension this year or this upcoming season. But my thing is that to me, Malik Willis is a person that you can bring in that you can possibly see 2-3 years down the line being your franchise quarterback,
right?
If you develop him right. But my thing is you just paid Ryan Tannehill as if he is your franchise quarterback, and you didn't change
that at all.
No. Ryan Tannehill is the Titans' franchise quarterback. He's not a franchise quarterback. Let's be frank about that. Let's be honest about this. All right, let's be 100%.
His numbers.
No. I like Ryan Tannehill's numbers, but we've seen it time and time again. Anytime that the Titans ride Derrick Henry to the playoffs, and then we know what the Titans are going to do in the playoffs. Each team that plays the Tennessee Titans forces the game on Ryan Tannehill's arm, and he doesn't deliver. So, in my opinion,
this, and this coincides with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is Ryan Tannehill an elite NFL franchise quarterback that transcends everywhere? Absolutely
no.
Okay.
Is Ryan Tannehill a very good fit for what Tennessee asks him to do?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the difference is they're paying him off of regular season ability and not postseason ability. Because if you're paying him off of postseason ability, you wouldn't extend him. You would go find someone else who can move the win needle more in the postseason. And let's be real. Henry came back for that game and has sat and didn't play for months. So you
almost half the season.
Derrick Henry more. I think it was like week 6 or 7 he went out.
Yeah, like week 6, 7, or 8 or something like that.
Yeah. It was game 6 or 7. I think they had an early bye because he was 10 weeks or 11 weeks the day that he played. So it was mid to late October when he went out. But with what they do and their plan and their scheme and their vision, he's their franchise quarterback. It doesn't mean he's
Agreed.
And I agree with that.
Agreed.
You change one word in that sentence and it fits for them.
Right.
It doesn't transcend football. He's not that type of quarterback.
Yeah, and I think we're all in agreement on that. My thing is just that if you're Tennessee, you want Ryan Tannehill. I'm not saying you don't bring in competition, but when you bring in somebody like Malik Willis, who I think has a potential to catch up to that style of offense that they do, which is similar to what they were doing in Liberty. You know, it's not a lot of pro style offenses. RPO, making sure you know how to read. And pretty much, you know, have some mobility, which Malik Willis does, which is right. I think Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis are a lot similar in play style than they are different. And so that's my thing is that if you're putting Malik Willis in that same system, and he catches it, and especially preseason is going to be telling on how good his mental is about catching the scheme. So if he gets the scheme and he takes off, to me, it's almost like a Matt Flynn to Seattle and they draft Russell Wilson type of situation. I gotta put some thought process into this. Like, hey, I know we didn't give this guy the money, but he's not outperforming the rookie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If Malik Willis outperforms Ryan Tannehill, they got to have that conversation.
But it's a good.
I think they're safe to see how fall Willis fell and see every team pass on him multiple times.
I hear you.
Kind of tells you what they think about this quarterback class, and it goes to show that Willis and other quarterbacks, because Pickett was the only one drafted in the first 2 rounds. Mm-hmm. It kind of tells you that they don't see a guy who can start from day one. They see developmental quarterbacks in this draft, and unless you were desperate like Pittsburgh, you weren't taking the quarterback early.
I'm glad you went there, Nick, because that's going to be my next thing.
And they took him out of desperation, right?
Okay, and that's what I'm asking you. So is just because Pickett got picked before Willis, we're not saying that Pickett's better than Willis, are we?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
You never know. Mac Jones was the 5th quarterback taken last year, but went to a better situation. Why can't Kenny Pickett be this year's Mac Jones? Right. A player who just has a very good team around him.
But
good team around him.
Falls into Yeah.
That's an interesting thing.
You got good receivers. You got a good young running back. You got an elite defense. Right. He's going to turn into Big Ben. When Big Ben was young, he handed it to Bettis all the time, and they played run game and defense. And they might win 13-10 games, but they're built to do that. They don't need to win 45-38 like the Chiefs had to do last year. And I'm just using you as an example as a team that can score a shit ton of points, but sometimes gave it up too. So it's not a dig. It's just a good comparison for the story. Matt just asked a question. I got
to start over Trubisky.
That's what I was about to ask. What do you do? You Pittsburgh?
Determined.
Yeah, it's a competition. To me, it's an open competition.
I think Trubisky is better than people give him credit for.
I was going to say that.
Man, he took Matt Nagy's teams to the playoff twice. You took Trubisky off that team and put Andy Dalton in, and they were horrific. Horrific.
I think
Trubisky is very, very underrated. I really do. I really do. And I know he's been a punchline, but he's got a winning record with Matt fucking Nagy as his head coach.
I think Mitchell Trubisky is the number 1 backup quarterback in NFL.
Well, no, in Pittsburgh, he should be the number 1 option.
I'm just saying, what I mean by that is that he's a good quarterback, maybe not good to be a starter, elite quarterback, but I would love to have him
for Pittsburgh.
Right. Well, I would love to have him on my roster as a backup.
Yeah.
And I would feel safe having him on my roster as a backup because my quarterback goes down for a couple of weeks. He'll at least keep me 500.
Yes.
So I'm good with that.
Yes. And I 100% agree with you. But if you're asking me right now, me personally, even though they had signed Trubisky before the unfortunate passing of Dwayne Haskins.
Right.
Me personally.
Let me ask you this though. If you have Haskins, do you make that pick?
See, that's my thing. And that was about to be my next point. Unfortunately, because of the unfortunate situation, I don't think they make the pick if Dwayne Haskins is still there. Because Dwayne Haskins, unfortunately, at the time of his death, was still, 23, 24?
24.
Yeah.
So you have him and Trubisky, 2 young quarterbacks who can battle it out. I think you can make the rest of your team better at that moment in the draft. If you have 2 veterans who, with what your scheme is going to be and what
they played in the league. Look,
and Kenny Pickett is not Trevor Lawrence.
Not even Justin Fields or that motherfucker is far from any of them.
He's not even a Davis Mills at this point. And I'm just saying that Kenny Pickett is not a world changer. Kenny Pickett is not a guy that you bring in and you say he's playing above Haskins and Trubisky from day one.
Yeah,
right.
That Kenny Pickett is not a pick and plug player. No fucking way. None of the quarterbacks in this class were. So if you have Haskins and Trubisky, I think you're as comfortable as the Steelers going into it this year. And then if that blows up in your face and that's catastrophic, next year you do something very un-Pittsburgh-like, and you give up a ton of picks to move up because your team is built besides from quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You might have the best roster in football outside of quarterback.
Yeah, Matt says I think they were going to get Kenny Pickett regardless. I hear what you're saying, Matt, but if Dwayne Haskins is alive and he's still on that roster, I don't see.
Yeah, but you still got Mason Rudolph. You can move Rudolph and bring in Pickett. Now you
no.
got
I wouldn't.
Now you got Pickett, Trubisky, and Haskins. You still got a better quarterback.
Here's my thing: Mason Rudolph, Haskins, and Trubisky, are they franchise quarterbacks? Probably not. But you can't take away from the fact that they have NFL experience, being in the game, being a starter for a franchise, and with Kenny
David
Pickett,
Blau has
but
experience. I don't want him on the Lions.
I hear what you're saying, but that experience means more than a guy that ain't done nothing in the league and already in the
had experience. He ran out the backfield. He ran out the end zone.
First of all, this is a Dan Orlovsky free show. All right, we will not have anything Dan Orlovsky related on this show. All right,
can we just eliminate ESPN as a whole. I know you played the Stephen Smith thing before. Schefter's a scumbag. Let's just eliminate all ESPN discussion.
No, Matt. Matt, no way. There's no way I get rid of Haskins and or Rudolph to bring in Kenny Pickett. I can't take a guy that first of all that's part of a weak draft class in quarterbacks and replace a guy that does have NFL experience, whether it's good or bad. You know, because most of those quarterbacks that were in Pittsburgh, they've had experience.
Mason, bro.
I get what you're saying.
Haskins, I flow with that. I flow with that.
I get what you're saying, but I'm saying
Mason, like Rudolph.
But when you're talking about a quarterback room, you can't beat experience.
Two last names.
I get what you're saying, but you're talking about a quarterback room. Had it been Mason Rudolph, Haskins, and Trubisky, all veterans, you bring in a rookie that ain't done nothing and possibly shouldn't even be there. I mean, there's nothing about. There's nothing about Kenny Pickett that says he's going to make it in the NFL. I thought that was an obvious reach to go at 20 to go get him. There's no way that you take a pick at 20 that's still in the middle of cream of the crop talent in the draft and use it on the Kenny Pickett. You could have got him 3rd round, hell, 4th round, but to use it in the 1st round. It was an obvious reach. At this point, I don't know which one was the more obvious reach, the Patriots or the Steelers, on what they did. You know what I'm saying? Right. I mean, that's just how I feel about the situation.
Yeah, Santa's going to be pissed, man. You're right.
I can summarize everything you said in one sentence. If you have Haskins, Rudolph, and Trubisky, Pickett adds to the confusion. He doesn't clarify it. He's not that type of player. You're not taking – this is the guy. You're not taking – Andrew Luck, you're not taking Trevor Lawrence, you're not taking Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, or Mac Jones, or Davis Mills. If Pickett was in last year's draft, and I'm doing this as a dig, if Pickett was in last year's draft, he wouldn't have been in the top 6. That's where he was rating-wise. So this pick does scream a little bit desperation. This pick does scream a little bit of awfulness.
That's a delay on that thing.
Based on the other quarterbacks, yeah, I don't know. I don't like it.
I'm actually surprised that
that's why I do not trust. And the best example of this, Jermel Thomas.
Sorry, let me get on my whole government name. What you
doing? And Lamar Wallace. Hey, first names, bro. Definitely no.
Hey, I was actually surprised that Desmond Ridder went before Malik Willis.
I'm not.
I fucking love this comment. Good job, Kofi.
You're not surprised by that?
No, I'm not. I think here's my thing. When you look at Desmond Ridder, all the quarterbacks, he looked more NFL ready than most of them. Size, skill wise, decision making.
That's fair.
You know, he looked more NFL ready than most of them.
That's fair.
So Malik Willis had questions in his ability as a quarterback. You know, he had natural talent and athleticism, but he still had some things he need to work on as far as his skill wise as a quarterback.
Kofi's stupid, dog. It says they will link to Pickett early on in the season. When it was moving.
Together
I've seen astronauts have shorter rides than Ben did on his final one. That shit lasted forever.
Oh my God.
Stories. He's been in space for 4 years and finally returns home. That was Big Ben's last ride. That shit started in like 2017.
What is last ride of rape?
Oh my gosh, sir.
Allegedly.
Yeah, let's get no. Wow. All right, so so I'm with you on that shocking moment of Nakobe Dean dropping far. I'm actually another shock moment for me.
What's that?
Was the fact that Jermaine Johnson got passed up a few times. And
actually, hold up.
But wait a minute
now. No, really.
But you look at how the draft
before we get into ours? Can we
go
discuss one other team before we
go
get
ahead,
into our teams?
Go ahead.
The Baltimore Ravens, aside from trading Hollywood Brown, fucking annihilated this draft. If I can't pick the Jets for the team that had the best draft, I'm picking the Ravens. For months, we heard that there's 2 generational talents at their position, Kyle Hamilton and Tyler Lindenbaum. They got both of them.
Right.
They then take a first-round talent, David I.O.W. from Michigan. They fucking killed that. Hold on, I got their picks up here. I wanted to go through them all. And you know what? Kudos to the Titans, because we were talking about it. I didn't get it in. They traded A.J. Brown, who wanted, and he got 4 years, $100 million, and they immediately took Treylon Burks, a 6'3", physical, big, broad, take it to the house type of wide receiver,
right?
To fill it in. And I think that's going to be the trend that you see now in the NFL. With
not
the money
the
wide receivers want, I think you're going to play them for 3 years. You're going to develop them. You're going to trade them and dump them off, and you're going to reload, because the athletic ability and the talent of wide receivers coming into the league right now,
right?
I think you're going to see teams saying we'd rather have that than $75 million over 3 years with that guy or more.
Will you think about it? Every year, what position is going to be some of the deepest in the NFL draft every year? It's going to be pass rush, pass protection, and pass receiving. Those 3 positions right there are going to be of premium every year, because you're going to have the depth in that classes every year.
Yeah, plus you usually can get, especially when it comes to receivers from smaller schools that still can produce.
Ball, yeah.
That still can produce.
Bro, you can get a wide receiver in the 6th round, and he can. I bet you he'll make the roster on your team, and maybe especially in certain good situations. If he doesn't start that immediately that year, he'll be starting within 2 to 3 years.
Right.
So you can get a wide receiver just about anywhere in the draft. You know what I'm saying? So no, Nick, you're absolutely right. I agree with that trend. So pretty much, if you're a wide receiver, hope you get.
I'm laughing at Kofi.
I mean, you can cash in at some point in time, but you're not staying with the original team that drafted you.
No. You look at the other Ravens picks. Travis Jones, a monster defensive tackle to plug in the middle. You look at Daniel Falele, the biggest guy in the NFL. He's 6'8", 386. He's a tackle from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. What is his measurements again?
Daniel Falele from Minnesota is 6'8", 386. He was rumored to be 6'10", but then when he got to the combine, he was like 6'8" and 3/4.
That's a big motherfucker, though.
Yeah.
He plays tackle?
Yeah, offensive tackle.
Oh. Hey, you know what they're going. You know what they're going to do with him. They're going to put him at right tackle first, and if Stanley goes down for the 3rd year in a row of a season-ending injury, they're going to move him right over to left, and eventually that's going to be Ronnie Stanley's exit out of Baltimore.
Yeah,
because you didn't have 2 season-ending injuries back to back after you got paid. You know, we're not going to keep paying you all this guaranteed money. You can't stay on the field.
Right.
You're right. The 4th round, they got Jalen Armour Davis, cornerback from Alabama, so a guy who's played in big games. They got tight end from Iowa State, Charlie Kolar, very, very underrated tight end. They got punt god Jordan Stout, the punter from Penn State.
Wait, we drafting punters? What are we doing?
Took him in the 4th round. They took him in the 4th round. They also took another tight end. Since you have no receivers and you traded away Hollywood Brown, you're going to have to run the ball and throw it to your tight ends all the time. They drafted a 2nd tight end, Isaiah Likely from Coastal Carolina. Right. Not a very good blocker, but a more athletic receiver. Can line up on the outside and be a nice mismatch. But between Hamilton, Linderbaum, and I.O.W. at number 45, you're getting a guy who was talked about in the top 15 at number 45. Like for Baltimore, him rupturing his Achilles was a blessing to you guys.
Right.
I know you traded away Hollywood Brown, but I think that the Ravens built with Linderbaum's nastiness, with Travis Jones's nastiness, with I.O.W. coming off the edge, with Hamilton on the back end. You saw a team that said, all right, we might not be able to compete offensively with this teams, but we're going to play some fucking nasty type of football. We're going to be able to play
some 2000 Ravens defense.
Yeah. They're going to be able to beat the crap out of you and make you play a game you don't want to play.
Yeah.
So I think the Jets and the Ravens are two teams.
Like the AD of football.
Hey, Nick be on it, man. Nick's on it when it comes to draft. That's why we always defer to him when it comes.
You meaning Ronnie Staley is Anthony Davis of football? With season-ending injury after season.
I
think you meant Anthony Davis, not athletic director.
I just got it. I'm a little slow. You know that man want to do something to me, bro. That man want to do something to me, but no. You were about to say something, big homie.
We're not gonna comment on the comment about Randy Moss. Technically, I can't say that about him because of Marshall, because he originally went to Florida State. So kind of came out of a big school.
Yeah.
If you compare that. But anyway, I agree with what Nick said about Baltimore. They did pretty good in the draft. David I.O.W., great pick. I kind of want the Lions to get him. But hey, they did pretty good. I didn't like at first they got rid of Hollywood Brown. I was like, dang, don't get rid of Hollywood Brown like that. He don't have nobody to throw it to. But at the same time, they did pretty good in the draft. So, and the season hasn't started, they still could pick up somebody in free agent. What did Kofi say?
He's stupid. He said, Punisher should go first round. Hollywood gotta go. His name makes me think he thinks he's better than me. You wow, Kofi. Shout out to Kofi and the good brother Bo. Y'all gonna make sure y'all check out Dirty Hills podcast, one of the great wrestling podcasts that is out there. Going over to the YouTube page. Make sure y'all show them some love and support for sure.
Right.
But no, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
No, hey, look.
Let's throw it to Mel's team. They had the number 2 pick in the draft. Let's throw it there.
Hey, Mel, you seemed a little upset when we was doing the live draft that they went and got J-Mo.
At first, I was like, "Come on, bro, what you doing? You gonna trade away the 32nd, the 34th, and the 66th?"
But you swapped 66 for 46, so you move up 20 spots.
I thought I kind of realized that afterwards. At first I was like, "Dang, come on," because really the 12th pick was their 32nd pick.
Yeah,
technically.
Yeah.
So they just picked earlier. Moved it up. So it wasn't that bad. And then they
not at all. When you look at the receivers and the run on receivers, Olave went 11 when the Saints moved up, and instantly Detroit was like, "We gotta fucking go, and we gotta fucking go now."
Right.
Because if you don't, he'd have been gone.
Great long-term pick.
Right. Yes.
Steve Brown, who showed flashes of greatness last year, and you have Jameson Williams, who exudes greatness. So now, if Goff is not your answer long-term, and you bring in another quarterback next year, you have 2 very good weapons coming in to help him along his way. I think he is. You know how much I love Jameson Williams. I wanted him at 10 with the injury. I don't give a shit because you're not drafting him for September. You're drafting him for the next decade. I think that is an absolute great ballsy move by the Lions. That could be a franchise-changing moment for the Lions.
Brad Holmes is your GM.
To Hutchinson. You're taking 2 of the top 12 guys.
Bravo, Brad Holmes, man.
And if Jameson Williams is healthy, Jameson Williams is the top 5 player in this draft.
Without a doubt.
If he's healthy, the Jets have to debate him at 4 because I see his impact when he does hit the field for a rookie being Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Beckham. OBJ missed his first 4 games as a rookie and came in and lit the league up.
Hey, Nick, let's be honest about Jameson Williams. He doesn't get hurt against Georgia in that national championship game. Georgia does not win that national championship game. I'm sorry.
I don't know about that.
No. Georgia couldn't do nothing with Jameson.
I will say that
national championship game.
The game would have been very different. Don't forget, they already lost Mechie in November, and now you're losing Williams. So it's a double-edged sword. If you have Mechie and Williams, that could be a different game. But the defensive pressure that Georgia applied was insane.
Oh, it was, but I'm saying,
can't apply that pressure if you have Mechie and Williams. You got to drop back and cover that more. So domino effect. The game would have been completely different.
I think it's a different game because you look at that game, you look at that national championship game before even the injury that Jamison had the injury on, he was behind the coverage. He was.
Well, I guess if you look how the game was going,
he was toasted,
blowing Georgia out.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they were. I'm just saying, but what I'm saying is that Jamison Williams was torching that secondary.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he wasn't.
I like this comment so much. I want to be the one to put it up on screen and read it. How trash you got to be to be the last pick of the last round. Coach is like, who's left? Fuck it. Give me the washing machine. Good shit, Coach. You got to remember, though, there are more players not drafted than drafted. Each team, I think, gets 10 undrafted free agents. So that's 320 guys there. Then you get non-roster invitees to rookie mini camps. You get another 7 guys there. So the draft used to be.
You gotta go back and cut
12 rounds. When they had less teams, it was 12 rounds. They've cut it down to 7 the last 30, 35 years.
Right.
Yeah. So and that's when you get a lot of your undrafted
now than drafted. But I mean, you look at the rest of what Detroit did. You get Hutchinson at 2.
Yeah.
Which I know I was hoping for him to fall, but I knew in my mind the entire time he wasn't getting past Detroit. But you hope rumors happen, and you hope that there's actual credibility to them.
Right.
You add Jamison Williams, and non-injury talent-wise, you added 2 of the top 5 players in the draft. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
I like the
Pascal from Kentucky.
I like that
round 2 with that trade up. You added 2 edge rushers, which tells you the type of football Dan Campbell wants to play.
Smash.
Then you still gotta look at. They still got. They still pick up McNeil from last year. That's your interior rush.
Yeah.
They don't. Then if Levi develops, then both Akawars, if they develop, you got a nasty defensive front line.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that.
You had a very good safety with Kirby Joseph from Illinois.
Joseph, right? Then now you got to think about too. Okuda was picked by Patricia, right?
That was his first pick, I believe.
Right. He was coached by Patricia. Now you have a better coaching staff that may be able to train Okuda
to be a better player,
to be a better either corner or move to a free safety position.
You guys traded Okuda to the Bears.
When?
I'm fucking with you.
I ain't seen that.
I thought I'd get a better reaction out of you.
Like, wait, saying that you
traded him to the division rival.
I'm always looking at my. I know. Phone. I didn't see
that. hey, you was about to spook the man, dog. You was like, what?
I've been mad because I've been like, I wish we could trade him during the draft.
Sometimes you got to be quiet. Let me just sell this shit, man. Your laugh is what fucking gave it away. Like I kept straight face. I had to look down for like 30 seconds before saying it. I was ready to.
Hey, at least we know your poker faces on it, bro.
I hear,
hey, at least we know your poker face is A1. It's just mine's just terrible, bro. Mine's just terrible.
Right.
My poker face.
Because you're always high and laughing, dumbass. Lamar can have a 2 and a 7 and be like sitting there giggling, or he could have 2 aces with 2 aces on the board and he's still sitting there giggling, laughing. You can't read him either because it's constant laughing.
But no. I thought y'all did well, bro.
Tight end James Mitchell from Virginia
number 2
Tech.
tight end. Yeah.
So it's a nice backup to Hawkinson. Late in the draft, you attacked defense again. You went Malcolm Rodriguez, a linebacker from Ohio State. You took a third edge, James Houston from Jackson State, one of Deion Sanders' boys.
I think he's gonna be the sleeper.
He's gonna be the nice one.
I think he's gonna be a sleeper, man.
Yeah. You look.
Shout out to Deion Sanders.
No, look, real talk. And this needs. And I was glad that we had some HBCU players, and not just Jackson State. We had all because I think we grabbed one from Savannah State or something like that. But here's my thing, especially when you're coming from Jackson State, Deion Sanders, NFL Hall of Famer, well known. He's surrounded all those kids at Jackson State around people that have played in the NFL or coached in the NFL.
he came from Florida State.
Oh yeah, he got talent.
He has talent. He came from a big school, a D1 school coming into Jackson State.
Yeah.
So it's not like he just came straight to Jackson State. Now people are like, well, they came to that small school. He came from Florida State.
Yeah.
Play with that competition.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why I think he's gonna be a sleeper when it comes to the Lions and they picks. I think he's gonna be the one that you're gonna look up and say, wow, that was a great pick.
Look, I'm gonna say this.
If you want to be a good team and you want to start making playoffs, you got to find those guys. You can't just have first and second rounders contribute. You got to find mid to late round guys that surprise. And with the HBCUs, with the quality of coaching and the names that you're getting in that conference now,
right,
it's going to raise the talent level because you're bringing credible coaches with ties to the NFL. It's Deion, it's Hugh Jackson, it's Eddie George, right?
Right.
Those are the big names in the conference. If I'm missing any, let me know. But now athletes are going to view the schools. I don't want to say a credible school because that's a bad word. It's more of an NFL launching pad. That's a better term to use. Now that you have guys with NFL ties and can make those phone calls, and they'll take the call from Deion, they'll take the call from Hugh, they'll take the call from Eddie George.
Because it's different.
The NFL scouts will see that, all right, these guys are being coached and prepped as NFL players, and this is just year one.
Right, but look at
more.
Speaking of what you saying, though, Nick,
blocks of the conference.
Speaking of what you're saying too, you gotta look at it like this. If I'm John Williamson, I'm known locally maybe in Tennessee. They might know me, but if I'm John Williamson, I'm driving to Texas or Michigan or Florida, like, who are you? But if I'm Deion Sanders,
they gonna drive.
You know what I'm saying? I'm known in all 50 states if I'm into sports. So now it's a different conversation when Deion's sitting on your couch versus like John Brown. You like, yeah, I never really heard of you though. So it's a lot of uncertainty. So I think that's
now, that Eddie George jersey with the Titans transcended what team you rooted for. People loved Eddie George. People bought the Eddie George jersey for the fit.
Right.
You know, Eddie George was a guy like, yo, I could rock that jersey. Everyone respects Eddie George.
I'm gonna say Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackson, bro.
No, Wolverine is not coaching.
No.
Logan is not coaching.
Wow.
Right.
I think it's a very good thing for that conference and then for the players choosing that conference that this can now be, and let's be real, for the last 20, 30 years, name someone who came out of there. Be able to the next 10 years
out of HBCUs or out of Jackson State?
Yeah, at HBCUs. Like it's not like it. And I'm not shitting on the conference. I'm just doing a comparative from teams, SEC, the major conferences. It's very few and very far between who get drafted, and even less who become a household name. Right.
Okay.
We get what you're saying.
Right.
It's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
But I think what it is a lot of people got to realize the history of it, though.
Absolutely.
People got to realize the history of college football. College football, all the talent was at the HBCUs, and it wasn't until like coaches like Bear Bryant and other top coaching heads finally got out of here, the bigotry and was like, hey, I got to keep up with the times. That's where the talent is the pool is at, because people got to remember Jerry Rice, one of the GOAT at wide receiver, went to Mississippi Valley State. Walter Payton, one of the GOAT at the times at running back, he went to HBCU. I think it was Jackson State or I can't remember what.
Bruce Smith.
Yeah, Bruce.
And then the last 20, 30 years,
Michael Strahan. Are you talking about? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. You're absolutely right. Because once people got out of their own way, that were coaches, pretty much they was like, if I want to keep my job, I can put up with them. Let's be honest. That's how the conversation went.
I can put a nigga on my team. Go ahead and say
No, I'm saying that's how the conversation went.
That's how it went.
No. Well, you
Hey,
know,
this is how it gotta be real, nigga. I'm saying, I'm just being real.
I don't want my lips moving as that word hits the airwaves because I don't want anybody saying
with no confusion. No confusion.
No, that was males who said that wasn't it.
No,
I don't want my lips moving as that word gets dropped because somebody could be working and then they look up and they see me talking after hearing that word and it's like, oh, this motherfucker went too far.
Yes, Alcorn State is an HBCU,
right?
And so McNair went to Alcorn State.
A guy from the '60s, and he starts talking like he's a white guy from the '60s.
Hey, that color guy.
But no.
Why do you think that Joe Namath threw to Don Maynard all the time?
in all seriousness, like it really wasn't until the 60s and 70s when they finally started plucking the talent from the HBCUs, and pretty much you start putting on this front that, hey, you got to go to these D1 schools because this is your best chance to get to the NFL.
Right.
The perception was there. The media helps playing it, but the truth is, talent will get found anywhere.
Yeah.
Period. If you can play, they will find
exceptional talent.
Exceptional talent. You're right.
The diamonds in the rough.
Yeah.
Won't necessarily get found as much in the smaller schools or the HBCU schools then.
Yeah,
now maybe.
Yeah,
but then it wasn't.
No, you're right.
It's those exceptional talents because you look at like your Texases, your Alabamas, your Michigans.
Speaking of Texas, they didn't even have that one guy drafted this year.
Right.
That's a rarity.
But if you look at those schools, people will be more willing to take a diamond out of rough out of those schools than they will back in these smaller schools now. Back then, now I think it is different because of the Deions and the Eddie George and Hugh Jackson and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, that definitely helps.
Credibility come to the conference on the coaching staff. So it takes a time. It takes just like I'll use the NFL, an NFL team, and compare it to HBCUs. Okay. Look at a team like the Jets or the Lions, for example, because I say we're on the same path. The culture can't change in one night. It takes repetition. It takes doing the same thing year after year, bringing the same type of people to change a culture for a team. Now you're changing the culture for a conference. So it's a lot of more moving pieces, right? But I think you're seeing credibility go there to the conference again, which dipped for a very long time, right? In terms of producing NFL type of talent. And I think it's very, very good for the conference. I think it's good for the kids. I think I'm not a young black man, as everyone can obviously tell, but
you're not young, period.
I hide it. I change the lighting in the room a little bit to mask it. But if you're a young black man and you're down in the South or anywhere else, you can relate more to an HBCU coach school than you can Texas, Michigan, Alabama. So I know everyone has NFL aspirations, and now that you have coaches in place that are NFL quality names, you're going to see the narrative start to change. Right. And you're going to see the kid from the suburbs in Louisiana who might not have a neighbor. Shut the fuck up. And he fucking complimented the Giant. And you know what? I'm deleting the Giants from our draft review. Damn it, man. We're the same fucking age, so he gets away with that comment. But I think overall you're going to see, as players start to get drafted, you're going to see the culture of the conference change, and you're going to see more.
Hey, Nick, let's take it a step further. Let's take it a step further.
Wait, I'm only being complimentary to black people. How far do you?
No. Whoa.
I'm fighting. Damn, bro.
That's how I start. No. I was saying. I was saying we got to take it a step further, is because at some point these HBCUs will not just be geared for just your young black men. There will be a point in time. There will be a point in time. That because Deion Sanders, who is looking for the best talent, he will go and grab your guy from Iowa that's going to be your left tackle for 4 years at a school.
Or Wisconsin.
Or something like that.
Steak eating 335-pound monster who's debating Iowa or Wisconsin. And It's good for the culture.
It's going to happen
for the schools. It's not going to happen overnight.
No.
I have mixed.
There's going to be a lot of groundbreaking news and groundbreaking players.
I get what you're saying.
You might see more 3-star recruits. You might see more 4, and then you already got a 5-star recruit that Dion got it right. Dion got the
Travis Hunter.
Yes. It only takes one. I've said this about Rutgers. It takes one 5-star blue chip recruit to pick your school to create a domino effect.
Yeah, water went down the wrong pipe.
Say you get, man, for a guy who swallows a lot, that must
have That's why I keep them coming back, bro. The women.
Hey, I was gonna. I'll let me ride.
No. I had to clarify with your ass, motherfucker.
I'm going further with it right now. Brace yourself. We all know blunts aren't the only big brown thing you're putting in your mouth, bro.
Oh my gosh.
See, I was gonna let it. I was gonna let it ride. You know, so I was like,
no, that was too.
Fuck that.
That was too good a joke to let it ride.
You want to be a sausage smuggler? You can. Go ahead, outside.
All right,
I love you, Lamar, and I let you hang out at my place, and you're welcome anytime because you proved to me you can keep a secret.
Yeah, I'm never coming back ever again. No,
when you look at this and you see this one pick, it's the beginning of a lot of good things for the HBCUs and the athletes in the conference. So next year we'll have more. The year after that, there'll be more, and you're going to see the evolution. And we're going to talk one day and say, "Hey, remember when there was no guys being drafted? Now there was a dozen guys taken out of this conference." So it's good things are on the horizon.
I know, Matt. I did set myself up for that shit, bro.
Totally did. Pause. You can rewind and watch it again if you want to, Kofi.
Nah.
What you about to say though?
No, look. I love it. Especially when you see the evolution, or not the. I should say the re-evolution of HBCU, of the rejuvenation.
That's a good word.
Yeah, the rejuvenation. That's a better word of HBCU.
I'm a wordsmith.
No, you can be. When the talent comes back, and because you got to start matching the talent with what you got talent wise on the coaching end,
right?
Because don't get me wrong, you can be a hell of a coach, and you might get the best out of what you got.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, it'll run up against a big talented team that's still well coached, and they'll trounce you.
Right.
So, but we'll see how that goes. But one thing I do love about the draft this year, and this is what I saw in the draft this year, I saw a lot of teams.
If you're moving on to a different topic, can I just add one thing about the?
You can talk about KC though, but go ahead.
Are you? If you're going to stay on topic, go ahead. But if you were going to switch,
go say you're
narrative, I just wanted to get a comment.
Said you're going to say Nick.
No, go ahead, Nick.
I will preface my comment with this. I am someone who has never been a big fan of Deion Sanders.
Okay.
I didn't agree with a lot of his takes. I didn't agree with his point of view on the NFL Network a lot of times. But I will add this. There might not be a better man, person, or coach for an HBCU school than Deion. He's going to coach you up the right way. He's going to tell you when you fuck up. He's going to call you out on your bullshit. He is going to do everything in his power to evolve you as a man and as a player. And if you notice the 2 orders that I put that in, he will help the culture. He will help the person. He will help the community. He will do everything within his power. With all the toes he's losing, he's still going to his meetings and he's still taking it. And I say it as a joke, but I'm showing his level of commitment to his job. And he don't want to coach Alabama. He don't want to coach Michigan. He found his niche in the universe, and God bless him, he's doing a fucking fantastic job of developing young men and players. So as much as I did not like Deion and his takes or his point of view on a lot of things in the NFL, hats off to Jackson State, hats off to Deion, and hats off to the kids who are going there. because you're going to play for a coach who gives a shit about you, where you came from, and where you're going to go. So
you're right.
Only good things to them, man. Go ahead. I didn't know if you were changing topics. I wanted to add that.
No. I was staying in the draft, but I was really going to speak on just what I saw in the draft. As you saw a lot of teams draft needs and necessities, especially teams like the Jets, the Lions, hell, even my Chiefs, they drafted necessities. I didn't see a lot of teams besides New England reaching. You saw teams that draft exactly what they needed to fill holes that they can possibly plug in now. We'll get to your Jets in a second because I know you definitely.
I actually got your team queued up on the phone to go over next.
I love what Brett Veach and the Kansas City Chiefs front office did. Absolutely love what they did. Obviously, we needed defense. We needed defense.
Great value you got.
Great value at defense. And if you notice, some of the defensive players that we got, they have a certain attitude.
Too. Yes, and they fell. So the value that you got, the talent that you got, when you got them, hats off, man. They did a fantastic job for a team that was drafting later in the first round. Sometimes you miss out on your guys, right? Sometimes a gift.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
I withdrew his appeal. Yeah.
Which means that Arizona knew about this, and that was why they did the trade for Hollywood Brown. If he knew that there was an appeal in place, that means the Cardinals knew about this.
That's a good point.
After losing Christian Kirk, and now you're going to be without Hopkins, they made not a great move, but they made a move they had to make, even if they didn't want to.
Hey, Marquise Brown can take the top off the defense. Is he consistent with his pass catching? No. But he can change the trajectory of a game with one play. I'm not saying he's an elite wide receiver, but he can take the top off the defense, can help all your other receivers. And let's not forget, AJ Green re-signed for another 1-year deal, and he actually had a good little resurgence in his career last year in Arizona. Almost had 1,000 receiving yards.
Almost had a touchdown where he forgot to turn around.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like
which we killed endlessly on the show.
Hey,
all he had to do was this.
Just turn around. Yeah, all he had to do was turn around. But
I running the 30-yard route from the 12-yard line, motherfucker.
No, honestly, I thought that was just probably either just a quick lapse in his mental, or it might have just been just a miscommunication between him and Kyler. But either way, AJ Green actually had a good productive season last year for Arizona. So now that you get Marquise Brown, that can open up a lot for somebody like AJ Green. Let's not forget Danny Isabella is going to be coming back. He's a speedy receiver. He had a lot of injuries, so didn't play much last year. Rondale Moore is still on that team. A good guy I liked on
what's the name? Ertz.
Ertz. Yeah, they got Zach Ertz. So Arizona is with weapons. They still aren't without. So of course losing DeAndre Hopkins for 6 games, yeah, that's a big blow, but it doesn't injure season. They still got talent on there. But back to the draft, man, especially like since we're on the topic of the Kansas City Chiefs, they did what I saw most teams did. Get what you need, change some things, and all the defensive picks that they got, they came with attitude. They are hitters. They are thumpers. They are. If you ask me, and this is what's gotten me geeked right now for football season.
That's the weed that got you geeked.
Well, weed always gets me geeked, but these dudes that they got on defense, I'm telling you, might change how the Chiefs are ran. Is because it's like that was the Achilles heel with the Chiefs. The defense was very opportunistic. If they're not getting sacks or turnovers, man, they getting ran up and down that field. Period. And so since the Chiefs were 29th in NFL in sacks, they were getting ran up and down on the field. And so, Spagnuolo, to me, this is put up or shut up time, because you got the full repertoire. You got the full weaponry of what it is to get some guys in here that's going to thump, play some damn defense. And if you can't get these guys in the right position, it ain't them. is you. Is you. But let's move to your Jets because I know you're excited to talk about your Jets.
Real quick, let's go over the picks. Let's go over the picks of the Chiefs. I know we talked about the other day. Trent McDuffie.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Should have been an early teen pick, but the run on receivers made him drop a little bit. So
I love it.
Yeah, very, very good pick. If you don't have, I think Gardner and Stingley are elite prospects. They went 3 and 4. If you put McDuffie in last year's draft, I think he's up there with Horn and with Surtain. But I think Stingley and Gardner are two of the best cornerback prospects we've seen, probably since Jalen Ramsey, in my opinion. So you look at McDuffie and the value that you get with him at 21 is fantastic. That's why you make the jump, because you don't expect a player like that to be there. We were discussing in late round 1, Kaiir Elam, Andrew Booth Jr., with the notion that they would have no shot at somebody like McDuffie. So that's a great move, trading up. Obviously, you have the Patriots who just said, fuck this draft. We'll do anything because we're going to bag of shit anyway.
Well, they don't never draft good anyway. They do good trades.
Yeah.
They do good trades.
And they get veteran reclamation projects.
Right. Right.
Your 30th pick is a guy that for months was sometimes a top 10 as an edge. And you got George Karlaftis, who I thought screamed the Baltimore Raven, New England Patriot. But
not the Belichick.
That's a very, very good pick to put on that line with what you have in place.
Right.
He's got a good motor. He can set the edge with the run. He's a bigger, more physical guy than some of the other edge rushers like Thibodeau and Jermaine. That's a good pick for you. Day 2. You got the guy, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to pat myself on the back because I called it. If you're looking for a Tyreek Hill replacement, Sky Moore is that player.
And no, you hit it right on the head, bro. You really did. You was like, don't be surprised if y'all go get Sky Moore. And I looked up his tape. I'm like, oh yeah,
You're basically watching Tyreek Hill college film, right? In just a different uniform.
Speed like Tyreek Hill. And I said it on a lot of Chiefs blogs and on Facebook, and a lot of people gave me some hate for it. And I don't give 2 shits. Sky Moore is already a better route runner than Tyreek Hill. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill's better with the ball in his hands and better. Tyreek Hill at times, not all the time, but at times, brings street ball to the NFL. Because when plays break down or Mahomes had to leave the pocket, his freelance ability is elite, number 1, no comparison in the NFL. He's elite when he gets the ball in his hands. His route running leaves something to desire for. Tyreek doesn't, he petrifies you with his speed, but he doesn't scare you with his route running. So you get somebody like Sky Moore, who's a better route runner and still has that elite speed.
I love
it. You add it to Gordon, Schuster, Scantling, Kelsey, and you're bro, looking at.
Bro, no, we got your guy from Rutgers, bro.
I'm getting there. Getting there.
Okay,
be patient on that one. That's gonna be the finale. You take safety Brian Cook,
bro, hitter,
and set the tone on the back end. Probably get a lot of penalties that you don't want, but he will fucking change the game with his.
It's okay. You know why it's okay? He takes the penalties because he's going to set the tone that you can't come down the hash marks with that bullshit. Yeah. I'm telling you, he's going to knock some heads off, and that's exactly what's going to be his job, is to knock some heads off. He's going to knock Darren Waller upside his head a couple of times. He's going to knock Mike Williams and damn Keenan Allen upside his head. Look, these wide receivers in the AFC West, you better watch out for Brian Cook because he's headhunting. And I don't care if he takes the 15-yard penalty. He's going to set the tone. I love it.
So now we get into round 3 with the Chiefs. And this is where champions are built. And I think that the Kansas City Chiefs hit on 3 of guys who are going to be huge surprises and guys that are going to be raved about. This first guy, I love him. I absolutely love him. I wanted him for the Jets. Leo Chanel a linebacker from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
This dude can run. He's got arms like John Cena and can run and cover and hit and blitz. And it's somebody that in the middle of that Chiefs defense, you've been having Jags, right? You've been having just a guy. A Jag is just a guy. You got a dude here.
I got John Lynch vibes from him. Is that a fair comparison? Well, obviously John Lynch is a Hall of Famer.
Lynch, I mean, he played safety. Chanel can line up and as an stand-up guy and rush the edge.
He's a linebacker. I'm not comparison about position. I'm talking about what he's going to bring mentality and physicality wise.
He's somebody who can set the tone. Yeah, I can see that. He can hit. Somebody will throw a pass out to a tight end or a running back in the flat, and he's going to be there to make a huge blow-up hit. So I could see it with that comparison. Absolutely. You took a cornerback again, Fayetteville State, Joshua Williams. This next pick in round 5, that was round 4. Round 5, you took a guy that Jets fans coveted. Jets fans coveted Leo Chanel.
A pause right there because I want to speak on Joshua Williams. Of course, being Fayetteville State, HBCU. But what I love about him, and he's not your typical cornerback. He's not your typical cornerback. He is 6'3". All right. You don't see a lot of 6'3", 6'2" corners in the NFL. And so this dude is going to be, be able to put either on the left or right side, regardless, and go against like a Mike Williams who's 6'2", 6'3", go against a Keenan Allen who's about the same size. So, you're going to be able to put Joshua Williams against some of your bigger wide receivers that the Chiefs are going to face, and he'll be able to match up with them physicality wise for size. So I definitely wanted to talk about that real quick because I love seeing a cornerback that's 6'3" and looking at some of the film on him, he can move. So he's going to be able to stay with a Mike Williams and a Keenan Allen. But no, go ahead, big homie.
And you see with the Chiefs draft, they know their weakness. They know the talent level that has moved into their division amongst the conference this year. You take a cornerback in round 1, you take a safety in round 2, you take a speed linebacker who can cover in round 3, you take a cornerback in round 4, you take a cornerback in round 7, you take a safety in round 7. You know that the Chiefs know their weakness, and they got to get better there. Round 5, you guys take a guy who could be a long-term plug-and-play player and then be really, really a long-term
I know exactly
starter.
who you're talking about.
I wanted this guy. I wanted him for us when we started round 4. I was surprised he was still there. I know the Jets took Max Mitchell. I would have loved this guy. And Max Mitchell has more versatility. Darian Kennard, lineman from Kentucky. You watch his film, you see a nasty motherfucker. And for offensive line, that's a huge compliment. We're not talking about women here. We're talking about linemen. When you see a nasty motherfucker, that's Darian Kennard. I watched this film during the season. I watched the Kentucky game just to see him play, and I watched him every snap when they were
Mall dudes.
Breaking news involving the Chiefs. The Texans traded defensive back Lonnie Johnson to the Chiefs for a 2024 conditional 7th-round pick.
I don't even know who Lonnie Johnson is. So
he's somebody they want to get rid of.
That just came in. That just came in from Rappaport. It might be somebody who's not a good scheme fit for what Lovey wants to run in Houston. So instead of cutting him, you're getting a pick 2 years from now for it. So it's not anybody crazy, but it might be a better scheme fit for the Chiefs. Round 7, Chiefs had no picks in round 6. Round 7, they take Washington State cornerback Jalen Watson. And now we get onto a pick that I think could be a very, very good elite second running back in the NFL. You took Rutgers running back Isaiah Pacheco. This kid made shit happen for Rutgers this year. Rutgers' offensive line is not elite, and when you're in the Big Ten and you don't have an elite offensive line, normally your running backs get embarrassed. This is a guy who can catch out of the backfield. He can run. He can make the first guy miss. And when you're in the NFL, you know damn well, everyone knows this, your best ability as a running back, besides availability, is the ability to make the first guy miss. You make that linebacker miss, and now you got blockers downfield. That can be the difference between a 2-yard loss and a 14-yard gain.
Right.
So Pacheco is somebody who could be a special teamer at the start and then work his way into a nice role as a backup going forward. So I think the Chiefs did very well. I think they knew they had to address their secondary. Mm-hmm. They got the edge rusher. They got Hill's speedy replacement. When you have Gordon, Schuster, Scantling, Kelsey, you got a lot of size. None of those guys. Scantling's got great straightaway speed, but he doesn't have the shiftiness and the ability to zigzag, cut, dip, dunk, make guys miss. Sky Moore has that. I'm not saying Sky Moore is going to be an NFL equivalent to Tyreek Hill. I'm saying Sky Moore has the ability to be a unique weapon. Mm-hmm. His speed alone. Like to me, he's what Rondell Moore was with the Cardinals. Don't forget, it took Tyreek Hill a little bit to come into his own as a receiver. He didn't blow up the league from day one. He was a punt returner. He was a weapon. And then he evolved into a receiver.
It took him about 2-3 years for him to start getting popping, bro.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Special teams, Sky Moore, you put Sky Moore back as a punt returner, and you're getting a shifty dude who can really, really take off. Yeah, but I like what they did, Lamar. I really like, and I'm not saying everyone knows this. Anyone who watches the show knows I am not going to ever throw fake compliments or kind words in the way of Mel and Mar.
He's absolutely right. Nick will always try to find a way to shit on us. At some point,
it's got to be earned. It's got to be earned. And I think both of your teams did very, very well.
From the bottom of my heart.
Fuck you.
To the depths of my soul. Fuck you, Nick.
But you know what? I take that. And that's how you know I legitimately love what your teams did. Because I would love to bust your balls. I would love to shit on the picks.
Right.
But I can't.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, let's get to your Jets, brother.
I was surprised. I was fairly surprised by the Lions.
Why? Look.
They did well.
Oh, you're surprised that they did well. Yeah. I was like, come on.
Twitch, and I got Twitch cursing me off.
like, come on, man. Like, give your team some credit.
No, I am.
Brad Holmes did fantastic.
I would say this. I was listening to a Lions podcast yesterday, and this guy was just crapping all on him, man. Man, Aiden Hutchinson, he better at least get 7 sacks. That's got to be his ceiling because, taking him second overall, blah, blah, blah. Just crapping on everything. Mm-hmm. So my thing has always been that this is one of the first times I actually can say I feel good about the staff that they have. A lot of times you feel good
competent.
You feel good about the players.
Yeah.
But they gotta go to that staff. You're like, oh man, you got Wayne Fonts. Oh man, you got Swartz or Patricia. It's like I don't know what he gonna do. Now I feel good about the overall staff. So I'm confident. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
I agree. I agree 100%. Like I said, the Lions and the Jets are on similar timelines, similar situations.
Right.
They brought in respectable coaches. I think we're a little bit ahead of you because if we have our quarterback of the future, we're obviously a little bit ahead of you.
Right.
I think next year that's something you see Detroit address. Whether it's Goff plays fucking lights out this year, you keep Goff.
But here's the thing too. I don't think Goff is garbage. I just don't think he's the quarterback for the future.
Correct. But if now you got Jamison Williams and St. Brown, you could be looking at a Cup and Woods type of tandem, like guys who get 200 catches a year combined.
Right.
Yeah, but you ain't even got a rush to move Goff. He's not even close to 30, bro.
And don't forget, you took 2 first-round picks and Goff. So one of those picks ends up being Williams. I forget who you took last year with the Rams. Didn't you have a Rams pick 2 last year?
No, it was this year and next year.
Oh, okay. That's right. They didn't have one last year.
Yeah.
So this is the first of that trade. So, you could be picking again with 32 next year.
Right.
But it's very, very good. You can't lose if Goff develops into the man. Some quarterbacks, it takes 5-6 years before they find it. You know, teams give up too quickly sometimes on quarterbacks. Sometimes you need a better thing around you. And I don't think you write Goff off yet. I think you could watch Goff take off when Williams comes in. Maybe like that third, fourth games with Williams, he just goes to another level. And maybe you win long term. You know, maybe you restructure the deal, keep him.
I mean, then they got Chark and they got the guy that used to play with him in the Rams. I can't think of his name right now. You got Josh Reynolds.
Yeah.
They got a decent receiver core. You know what I'm saying? I think the people that have around Jameson and St. Brown.
Kwame St. Brown.
Yeah, St. Brown. I think they good role players. They good outside of them by themselves. They're not that great. But with those people that they got surrounded by them, I think they good supporting cast.
Absolutely, because you don't want St. Brown to be your number one. But St. Brown becomes a very, very good number two.
Number two, right. And then Jameson, your number one. And then those by them being draw maybe double teams or get other people to get open. And they competent enough to catch the ball. Then you got good running. You know, you got 3 good running backs and a good offensive line. So they are building something. So, you know, it's got to put it together and win. But go ahead with your Jets, man.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
My buddy CJ is back doing podcasts and wanted me to come on his Jet show tonight. I was just messaging what time because I got to squeeze dinner in at some point. So you guys know I've discussed it at length on the show. I did not want a cornerback early. I didn't think the Jets were going to take a cornerback early. I think that when you look at the team and the scheme, I thought it was a waste to take a cornerback, even somebody like Gardner. So when the pick came in, I had no reaction. I was even keel. And normally younger Nick would have blown up with F-bombs and throwing shit. But I said, you know what? I trust in Joe Douglas. Let me see what Joe Douglas does. It's just the first pick. We have 4 in the top 38. Let's see what we do. The 10th pick comes. There was rumors about us trading for Debo. We did make an offer. The Lions made an offer. And what the team decided to do.
Hold on. I just thought about something.
Go ahead.
Before you finish.
Go ahead.
Cleveland, fuck Baker Mayfield. Do not try to keep sending him to Detroit. Okay, go ahead. Continue, Nick.
So when we're on the clock at 10, I thought Jermaine Johnson could be an option. I thought Jameson Williams could be an option. I thought Garrett Wilson could be an option. Drake London went 8 to Atlanta.
Right.
And the pick came in as Garrett Wilson. Again, I'm kind of even keel. I'm a little like, all right, like I did a little Derek Jeter fist bump that, all right, we're helping Zach. We got a speedy guy who's going to be there for OTAs. He's going to be there for training camp. Jameson Williams wouldn't have. It's going to help Zach immediately. So I'm good with that pick. I like it. And then I'm at my kids. Their mom's there. She went back into the bedroom. She's like, all right, what time are they going to bed? I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to stay and hang out because I think the Jets are going to trade up. And she gives me like the ex-wife look. And I'm like, just go to fucking bed. I'll put the kids to bed. I'll lock the door behind me. You're good. Good night.
Right.
So the Jets.
The reason why you're ex.
And if you remember from our I.O.W. mock the other day, I had the New York Jets trading up to number 26 with the Titans. And I said flat out that if there's a player the New York Jets covered, I see the Titans at 26 being the spot where Joe Douglas finds his sweet spot and the value is right and he trades up. Now, in my scenario, I had us taking Aiden Hutchinson at 4, so we didn't need an edge rusher at 26. But when you look at the mock, I had Jermaine Johnson going 30 to the Chiefs. So I had Jermaine still there. But I had them taking Nakobe Dean because we already addressed edge rusher in my scenario.
Right.
But Joe Douglas gets it done. He was on the clock. He was on the phone from the 15th pick to the 26th pick trying to trade up to get Jermaine Johnson. And as you guys know, I've said many times, to be good in the NFL, you got to be good. Mm-hmm. To be great, you need some things to go your way.
Right.
You need a safety like Jamal Adams that bitches and whines to get out, and you get a fucking quarterback haul for a little bitch-ass punk like him. Sorry, that was from the heart. That was not professional. I apologize, but I mean it. And you like the way I stuck the "but I mean it" at the end? You got a first-round haul for a box safety who can't cover anyone, doesn't commit turnovers. That's a huge, huge deal. That's something that you don't see in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get that, and now you use that extra pick that you got from Sam Darnold. You got a 2, a 4, and a 6 for Sam Darnold. You got 2 1s and a 3 for Jamal Adams. That is the poster child, Joe Douglas, for turning a negative into a positive. And it's going to change our franchise because you get Garrett Wilson with the second of Jamal's pick. So you got Elijah Vera Tucker and Garrett Wilson.
Right.
2 guys who are going to transform the offense through Jamal trade. And now with the Sam trade, you use the Sam trade to move up and get on the clock at 26. And now the energy level changed with me because now the combination of having the elite cornerback with an elite edge rusher changes the whole dynamic of the defense. If you add just one, it's not the same, but adding both, the combination of the two, it's like, all right, here's one, here's the other.
Right.
All right. But now you got this, you got cohesion, you got complementary football on the defense itself. So when that Jermaine Johnson pick hit, I went through the fucking roof. I was up to 4:30 doing Jets podcast that night with how excited I was after round 1. It was insane. Round 2, we're set to pick at 38, and it's the 4th pick. So normally your 4th pick is in the 4th round, right? Maybe the 5th because you gave up for a trade. That's a sweet spot to take a running back. And the Jets get lucky with completing their offensive line, with adding the tight ends we added in free agency, with CJ Uzomah and Conklin from Minnesota, and having Corey Davis and Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore at receiver. They trade up 2 spots with the Giants. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure doing business with you. You get the top running back in this class. You get a guy that is custom tailor-made for your run scheme, who happens to be the best running back in the class. You now pair him with Michael Carter, who had a very good rookie season, and the combination of Breece Hall and Michael Carter.
I love Breece Hall.
In 12 to 24 games could be one of the best tandems in the NFL.
Breece Hall, in my opinion, was the best running back in the class, period.
Do you know the comparison, the NFL comparison to him?
What's that?
Jonathan Taylor.
Yes.
He's a guy who can strike from anywhere on the field. The Jets have built their line to be as good as the Colts, if not better, to be completely honest. And now you're adding a home run hitting workhorse of a running back to this offense. I'm telling you, man, the Jets may be the most improved team in football this year. Just those 4 picks. We didn't even get to the rest of it. Just those 4 picks alone. You got your number 1 corner. You got your number 2 edge rusher. You got your number 1 wide receiver. From everything I'm reading, Wilson was number 1 ahead of London. And you get the number 1 running back. You get your number 2 tight end in Jeremy Ruckert, who a lot of people are comparing to George Kittle because he was drafted later, didn't have huge opportunities in college. And when you look at Jeremy Ruckert, he's an elite blocker, which you need in this scheme, which George Kittle is too for the 49ers.
Right.
And he had Olave, Wilson, and the other receiver at Ohio State. So he didn't get a lot of opportunities in the pass game because those guys were open 30, 40 yards downfield all the time. So you take the tight end, Jeremy Ruckert, and even though you signed Uzomah and Conklin, you're looking at a guy who can be a fullback on short downs and block in the backfield with the other tight ends up already. You're getting flexibility, which is one of the things Joe Douglas loves. He wants captains. He wants leaders. He wants a team full of guys that lead themselves, because if you have a team full of leaders, nobody has to be led. You don't have to worry about guys blowing up on the sideline and slamming their helmet or kicking the fucking punting net. You don't have to worry about guys emotionally checking out of a game because they're caught up in their feelings. You got a team full of leaders. The 2 later picks are project picks, backups. Clemens, the DN from A&M, who's got some off the field issues, a little bit older, and Max Mitchell, an offensive lineman who has history at tackle, guard, and center, so more flexibility.
Right.
They're drafting. I said going into the draft that coming out of this, Joe Douglas had the potential to be talked about and praised league wide, and I think you see that.
Oh yeah. I mean, everything I've read, everything I've watched, they've been praising the Jets. So I mean,
no, you got to. They.
Oh yeah, it's not without merit. I'm just saying, just to back up what Nick was saying. Like I turn on something, I listen to something on the radio, or I'm reading something on Bleacher Report or whatever. They got the Jets as number 1.
Mm-hmm. Hey, no, they absolutely
Ravens, Jets, and the Eagles. You got to add the trade for AJ Brown in.
Right.
Are teams that are being praised.
Mm-hmm.
And those are all teams that are Jets and Eagles are trying to make their identity. Ravens are trying to keep theirs.
Right.
So the picks that the Ravens made are fantastic. Fantastic. The Ravens defense great when they can get after the quarterback, and they had Ed Reed in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
They got Kyle Hamilton back
there. One
there.
of my favorite players.
Bravo.
Ed Reed.
Love Ed Reed.
Oh, I love Ed Reed.
From college all the way through the pros, I watched.
Yeah, I'm on record as saying this on the show and the Jets podcast that I do. Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Ronnie Lott, Pete Atwater. All of the great safeties that you can name, Charles Woodson, were all a part of teams that had great front sevens. So you're able to guess more. You're able to jump shit. When you have a bad front seven, like you're fucked on the back end. You got to sit home and wait because the longer the quarterback has to throw, the further receivers get downfield.
Right.
If you know this blitz scheme that we're running right now, we're going to be at the quarterback in 1.5 seconds. You can jump a slant because the quarterback's got to get that ball out of his hands with the pressure that you're bringing. So the complementary football between the front seven and the back end was always great with those players. Now, if you took one of those players and put them on a shitty team if you put Ronnie Lott on the Cleveland Browns or the Jets or the Dolphins in the late 80s, early 90s, he may not have been the same player. And safety is like running back. You need everything in front of you to be good for you to be great.
Right.
Occasionally you make a big hit, but if you want to make turnovers and game-changing plays, you need that front seven to be elite. And I think Hamilton falling a little bit to 14 could be the best scenario for him because of the way the history they have of safety play design.
Right.
I think that's a very, very good place for him.
I agree.
But, I didn't want the Jets to take a safety. So I'm happy with what Joe Douglas did. I think you got a building block draft of players and talent that a couple years from now, when we're playing deep into January or February, this is going to be the moment that everyone looks at. It's always going to be the Jamal trade. The Jamal trade is going to be the thing that catapult us to the next level. The second part of that trade, Garrett Wilson just got picked, so you can't completely evaluate.
Thank you, Seattle.
Appreciate you, C. Say C.
Let me add this to that. Today, I saw the first 2023 mock draft, and now the way these sites
never too early for mock drafts. Never too early.
Never. But how they rate it is they go off of the Vegas odds to win the Super Bowl until the games start being played. That's how they decide the order it's the reverse order of Super Bowl odds. So the Jets have the third lowest Super Bowl odds. It's Houston, it's the Lions, and then it's the Jets. So the Jets are getting like Michael Carter, the defensive tackle from Florida, who is like a Warren Sapp type. He's going to be an elite inside pass rusher. But I'm looking and I'm like, man, this is fucking weird. I'm not used to looking for the last year, almost for the last year. It's been 2 first-round picks. the year before was 2 first-round picks. Right. I'm scanning round 1 looking for our other pick, and I'm like, man, my brain is programmed thanks to Seattle. Only look for multiple first-round picks. So I'm like, ooh, we got 1 first-round pick. This is gross.
You're not used to having that.
No. So I know we covered a lot with the draft. You guys got any thoughts? Anyone in the chat? You guys got any questions? Throw it out.
Hey, just because Matt's here, let's go ahead and talk about his Giants real quick so he can feel like he's involved.
I had them taking Neal 5, Thibodeau 7.
Yeah, they went different.
Reverse of that.
Yeah.
I like the kid from Western Kentucky in round 2. I think it's DeAndre Robinson. I'm not looking at it right now.
No, I'll pull it up for you real quick.
But I know he's from Western Kentucky, the receiver. Mm-hmm. Giants draft picks.
No, I got you. Go ahead and because I know you definitely want to talk about Thibodeau.
I thought it was a little bit of a reach in round 2.
Nah, it's no diss, Matt. You know, I gotta bust your chops, bro. That's all. So they start with Thibodeau at pick 5, Evan Neal at pick 7, Wan'Dale Robinson, who they got from Kentucky,
Wan'Dale.
At pick 43, Joshua Eziju, a guard from North Carolina, Cordell Flott, a cornerback from LSU, Daniel Bellinger, tight end from San Diego State, Dane Belton, safety from Iowa.
Not a bad pick.
Not a bad pick.
Yeah.
He can block. He can get out and catch. He can be a mismatch against certain defenses. He could be like a who's the tight end on Buffalo? Noel?
Knox.
Yeah.
He could be a guy like that where if you get him out in space and get him the ball, he could do some run after the catch. I really like their last pick, the Darian Beavers from Cincinnati.
Yeah, I like that
could
too.
Be a guy who could be like an old school Giant, like mid to late round pick who steps in and becomes a good linebacker for them for 8 to 10 years. I really, really like that pick. That was a guy I thought could go in 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the rest of the guys, they had a good beginning.
Wait, hold on. We doing that, Matt? We doing that, Matt? That's what we doing?
No, Matt, you don't do that because you don't brag about teams you're supposed to beat.
Somebody say Paolo.
Oh, I know.
Wait, so he lined it up with his heart?
I'm telling you, laugh now. You're gonna be crying later. Because right when all them home run bats go cold in a couple of months, don't say I didn't tell you so.
You haven't been paying attention to our pitching, then, brother.
Yeah, you're pitching.
Paying attention to our pitching. Our pitching
Nick
is elite.
Your pitching may be elite, but you guys on the offensive side is home run and buzz. If you're not hitting home runs, that pitching it'll look cute on 1-0 games when y'all gonna be on the other end of that 1-0, and I can't hit nothing. So enjoy the pitching now, but when the bats go cold, we'll have that conversation in a couple of months. We'll have that conversation, and I'm gonna remind you guys about this conversation. We'll come back to this.
You want to feel old?
No.
I'm gonna give everybody something right now.
I'm young at heart, baby.
I get it, but you don't put your heart on a form when you got to give your birthday, bro. No, brace yourselves because you're both gonna do like a jaw drop. Wow. The Rock turned 50 today.
What?
For real?
He's 50?
I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah, damn.
I opened up Instagram and
it's better shape than what I am.
Wishing The Rock happy 50th birthday.
Oh wow.
Ugh. Best record in baseball. Okay. It just hit May. It's first month of baseball, Matt. Relax. There's 162 games. We're not even nowhere close to a quarter way through.
Let's hope the Red Sox lose 125 of those.
Yeah, let's do better math than what you did in the text message. You only talking about lose 60.
We got to talk about that. So I placed a bet Saturday night for yesterday, and it was the Yankees Royals to go over 8. It was the Yankees to win by more than 1.5. It was Baltimore to beat Boston, and it was by 1.5. Or it was Baltimore getting 1.5, and they blew Boston out. It was the Mets to win by 1.5, and they did. They won by 2. And then the other pick, which made me lose the fucking bet, was the Boston Celtics minus 4.5 against the Bucks. And the fucking, if I would have known that, I would have bet on the Celtics 4 times in a row, and the Nets would have swept them. So I'm like, all right, man, I like the way they played. I like what I saw. I bet on Boston. They fucking flop. So I sent the screenshot of the bet to the fellas, and it was the first leg of the bet because the Boston game was over before the Yankee game was. So the bet was done before any other games finished. And I'm like, fucking Boston. And I'm like, and then look, Mel makes a comment, and he's like, yeah, and fuck the Red Sox too. I hope they lose 62 games. I'm like, bro, that means they win 100. He's like, oh, fuck that. I forgot how many games are in baseball. He's like, I hope they lose like 100 something. I was like, there you go, man.
There you go. More better math.
My mind's on NBA. He said Boston Celtics first. I was thinking
he was hoping like 20 and 62. Right, I'm
shit. Speaking of NBA, let's transition for the last 15 minutes.
All right, I'm out. Great show.
No, the playoffs are heating up. We are in the Elite 8 round of NBA playoffs. Pretty much 4 teams in the West, 4 teams in the East. You got
it's the natural transition in sports to go from 20 to 16.
Hey, I'm just trying to break it down for people who can relate to it.
I'm trying to help me out with my math.
So yesterday and Sunday's action, you had the Nets.
No,
the
this
Nets.
Sunday you had no Nets.
My bad.
You might
My
have
bad.
Nets in the rim.
I'm over here tripping. No, you had I know, right? You had the Celtics losing to Milwaukee. And then you had the Memphis Grizzlies losing to Golden State. Any big surprises in any of those games right there that you guys saw?
Not surprises, but the Milwaukee game was actually a pretty good game. I mean, Giannis was just like ridiculous. That alley-oop he threw to himself, I was like, come on, bro.
Come on, bro. And here's one thing, there's a lot of talk on the world that they're, Milwaukee or Boston, they weren't getting a certain calls that they were against Brooklyn, that they're not going to get against Milwaukee. Hey, it is what it is. But
and let's be real, Giannis is more physically built to take the beating that they delivered to KD.
And that was one of my biggest things. I think when you going against Giannis, he's a different type of physicality, and Milwaukee, to me, in general, is a different type of physicality that Boston's going to play than what they did against Brooklyn. If you ask me, I've said it. I don't think Brooklyn is tough enough to take on a team like Boston or Milwaukee. They're more finesse. Some people agree with me, some people don't, but I'm talking about with my 2 eyes. I see a more finesse team built in Brooklyn Nets than what you see or Boston or Milwaukee. So this series between Boston and Milwaukee, to me, this is going to be a battle of attrition. Who's going to be able to stay healthiest the longest and make it throughout this series? Because I think they're going to beat the hell out of each other. It's going to be a real physical series.
My kind of game.
Your kind of game.
I just like.
I don't know if you've ever paid attention to Jamel Lamar, but he seems to like aggression, physicality, against your will type of events.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
and most of the time it's pills involved. But,
I tried to keep it as a sports analogy.
Sir, you're not going to incriminate yourself on air.
I tried to keep it as a sports analogy.
You're not going to incriminate yourself on air. All right.
It's a tic tac.
Sir, you're not going to incriminate yourself on air.
I'm not incriminating myself. I said it's a tic tac.
No, sir, let's just say you like to have fun. You like to party. All right.
These are party favors.
Mel's the type of dude to like walk into a party and be like, all right, let's see what happens. He movies himself.
I'm more like, let's see what happens. I spread out the several drinks and increase my odds.
Hey, pretty much.
Mel would never show up to a party with one pill. It would be more like that. Mel would be like,
look, all I know is if Mel's offering the shots, I'm good. I am good.
I gotta worry about that. Ain't no shots coming your way.
Good. I'm good. I'm glad we got that understood. No shots my way. But if you look at this Golden State Memphis series, to me, you're looking at the established franchise taking on the up and coming franchise.
Okay.
Memphis is trying to. They're a small market team, and whether you want to claim it or not, Golden State Warriors are a small market team, but they just happen to build great success. They got better star power.
We all know the NBA is about star power.
And I love what Jordan Poole is doing, but man, he gets the benefit of being on a great team. Jordan Poole has been playing out of his mind. So when you bring in, none pressure. You got a solid team from top to bottom, bench wise. You still got Clay and Steph that's on your team. So if stuff starts getting really messy, you can defer to them. And I like how Memphis is built, but let's be honest, it ends with Ja Morant. If Ja Morant is off, and it's not a diss on Dylan Brooks or any of those other guys that are on Memphis, is if you're looking at the roster compared to Golden State, it's a mismatch. It just is. I know Memphis is a higher ranked team, but come on, you can't beat experience. You can't beat what Golden State has. And I gotta talk about the damn ejection of goddamn Draymond Green. Goddamn it.
Go ahead. I'm gonna pee because this is a topic I don't care about. I hate Draymond as a player. I like him as a podcaster, but I hate him as a player. So
I love Draymond Green as a player.
I love him.
It's because he's a junkyard dog, man. Wait, hold up. Did you just say you love a Michigan State Spartan on your team?
We had this discussion already. Let's keep this moving.
No. I think we need to reopen this because all
need to reopen.
No. Because all the Michigan.
He has said it before. Last time we brought Draymond up, he shocked us both with that.
All these Michigan State players you shit on, but you won't shit on.
He's actually from Michigan. I gotta give him that.
Okay.
He's from Sagnasty.
He's from Sagnasty. Okay. I'll let you rock with that. I just don't know why all of a sudden you love a Spartan.
Kirk Cousins just visit.
Kirk Cousins was a visitor.
He's a visitor.
I'll let you find it out on the casting.
He said Kirk Cousins was a visitor.
He's a visitor. So fuck Kirk Cousins.
Fuck him. But no. Look. I love this matchup between Golden State. It went down to the wire, and this is what I love about Golden State is because as much firepower as they got on offense, they're smart and intelligent on defense. Did you see that closing play? Clay was on another guy, and he knew that he was about to hand it off to Ja, so he strategically was like, "Nah, bruh, I see you coming, Ja," and he pretty much fake like he was going with the guy that had the ball, and he immediately peeled off and went straight at Ja Morant. Because if he doesn't do that, Ja Morant has an open lane to the cup, and he probably sinks that layup.
I want to say this.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. That's
really, Matt.
I always got my back.
Yeah. LeBron James.
I like Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Excellent talent, excellent player. I think sometimes he's erratic in his play.
That's fair.
And I think sometimes he needs, like in that instance, we know you're gonna take the last shot. Look to pass the ball. That'll threw everybody off. You think about every time you do the interview, what does he say? What's the play? Can you walk us through the last play? Go get a bucket, Ja. That's always his comment, right?
Yeah.
Because he gonna try to take that last shot all the time.
Well, they know.
Now, don't get me wrong. When you are the star player, you should always look to take the last shot. But when it's known that you're gonna take it, always look for kick it out somebody.
So pretty much look for the best
you
play.
Draw the double team. Look for the best play.
I got you.
Don't always put yourself in a position to take a difficult shot.
And I get what you're saying. But this is where Ja Morant doesn't have the luxury of having like a Steph or Clay on his team.
Right.
Because
there's been times, before you said that, there's been times where he had hot men on his teams in a game.
And you're 100% right.
And he could have kicked it out to them.
And you're 100% right. And I'm not disagreeing with you.
I didn't know we were rating the sexual looks of players on Ja's team. He got hot men on his team.
hot as in jump shooting.
Yeah,
you should have cleared that up.
Let's clarify.
Yeah, you ran into that one, dog. Yeah, you ran into that one.
In living color. He's like, he got hot men on his team.
Yeah, you ran into that one. But
I've always been a fan of the culture. You know, I'm making a living color references. You know that I am a longtime fan.
Thank you, Matt. Hey, hot man, what the fuck?
I said the hot man for talking about the hot man with the ball.
Yeah, shooting. No, you're right.
They put it all together with the ball. That would have whole different
Oh my god,
shooting.
But I'm saying like Dylan Brooks is not on the same level as Clay and Steph.
No.
And so unfortunately, you know, if I had a Clay and Steph on the team and I can defer to them in like the last few seconds of the game, you know, I can feel comfortable saying like they can go get the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not dissing on Dylan Brooks. I like Dylan Brooks. I watched him when he was at Oregon.
Right.
I like his toughness and sort of the you know intangibles that he can bring to your basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
But he ain't no shooter like Clay or Steph.
Right.
And so if I'm John Morant, it's like, yo, it either has to start and end by me, or you know, it is what it is. Because either way, if John Morant defers and he defers to somebody else on the team and they keep throwing up bricks in clutch moments, they gonna look at Ja and be like, Ja, what the hell are you doing, bro?
Right.
You the superstar. Go make the play. And so like it's a double-edged sword.
I heard it as I went to the bathroom. I could hear you guys. The only thing he fucked up with was trying to avoid the contact and not taking the contact and getting to the free throw line.
Okay.
He tried to dip away from it.
Yeah.
Instead of going into it. And
yeah,
you would have known right then and there if the league views him as a superstar. Because if he takes that contact and gets the foul, the league is basically saying, we consider you a superstar. And we're going to give you a game-changing call.
Yeah.
And I will say this, Grizzlies in 6.
Wow.
I say Golden State in 6.
I think Grizzlies look nervous in game 1, and once they settle down, I think they win like 3 out of 4.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, but they can't. The refs can't do what they did with Draymond Green yesterday with that flagrant. I don't think that was a flagrant too.
I'll be honest, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't think that's a flagrant.
Well, no, he went up and he did grab his jersey, but he tried to like soften his fall. And I think it's only a flagrant too because he grabbed his jersey and was kind of quote unquote pulling him down.
Well, I think it was like the way.
You gotta remember, Draymond will do dirty shit and try to look like the good guy at the end of it. That's his mantra. That's his go-to. It's like, I'm gonna fucking try to fuck you up, but I'm gonna look like I'm helping you at the end. But meanwhile, I fucked up everything about your drive and your approach and while you're in midair, but I'm gonna try to save you from hitting the ground hard. It's like the guy who robs the bank and then shows up to see what happens afterwards. Like he goes back to see like his own crime. You know what I mean? Or like, you know, they always say that the criminals return to the scene of the crime. Like Draymond in the middle of the crime is trying to be the good guy. But no, you didn't fucking do that to begin with. You don't have to try to look good.
Just me personally, I mean, we're all going to have different takes. I just think that, you know, Draymond plays rough. He does play tough. He has definitely a 80s mentality, early 90s of basketball mentality. And, you know, you can't have that type of playing style in this type of basketball area that we have now. This space is not meant to be physical. It's meant to be flashy, finesse. And, you know, it is what it is. Just me personally, I didn't think it was a flagrant to kick him out that early in the game. And yet Memphis still didn't win. So that says more about Golden State to me. It shows that you can take one of your leaders like Draymond Green, who is an energy guy, a guy that's going to get rebounds, do the dirty plays, do the grunt work, get on the floor to get the loose ball, pass, guard the Jokic like he did in the last series, and be the energy guy. And as you see him when he's leaving, he's still like, yeah, like dirty or not, I like guys like that on my team. I'd rather have them on my team to play against them.
Right.
You know, same like Chris Paul. Chris Paul got some dirtiness in him. I'd rather have them on my team than play against them because they add a different type of element that you can't put on the stat sheet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the player got past him, and he knew he had to try to stop the bucket. So I think in his mind, his intention was to hard foul him.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying.
Oh yeah, he was definitely going to hard foul.
He was trying to hard foul.
Yeah, he was going to hard foul.
But I guess he realized, well, damn, if I pull him down, that's going to hurt him. Yeah. So he tried to catch him.
Let me help him. Yeah.
He tried to catch him and set him down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, if you're looking at flagrants, 1, 2, whatever, still intent.
More breaking news too.
Intent has to play a part of that.
I got you.
And I think his intent was not to hurt him.
And see, that's the thing. You can't measure intent on camera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But to me, it didn't look like that. But go ahead with your breaking news.
The NFL announces that it could not substantiate the claims made by former Browns head coach Hugh Jackson regarding tanking.
That's fine.
Well, we knew that.
That's fine.
We knew that.
He sounded like he didn't have
needed official following a 60-day independent review of the comments made.
Because they didn't come. Plus, they didn't come out directly and say it.
Yeah.
So
some of his shit he was saying was kind of.
It's like one of those things. Like it was like implied but not said. So how can you really investigate that, or prove, or substantiate an applied statement?
And Matt, just answer your question. If it's not Draymond, to be honest, I don't think they at least call it a flagrant one.
Yeah.
But just because it's Draymond Green, he has, he does have his reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the Rasheed Wallace reputation.
Right.
It comes with some stuff, and so it is what it is. Real quick, because we're at that 2-hour mark. Big blow to the 76ers, and B's going to miss some time in the series. Do 76ers have a chance?
No.
Okay. Nick?
Oh, are you telling me that the curse of James Harden is exposing itself? Oh, no. I'm shocked. Tell me more.
People talking about some James Harden needs to step up. James Harden showed you what he is.
Yeah.
He's not stepping up. He's not doing nothing. He's going to continue doing what he's doing now.
The book been written on him.
Right.
The book has been written on him.
He doesn't step up. That would be the qualities of a leader.
No, he steps out.
To the side to the next team.
Right.
He steps out. I'm with you, Nick.
Let me ask Mel. I got a question for you about the NBA.
Okay.
If you were to rank the hot men on the Grizzlies, what order would you put them in? Does Steven Adams' ponytail do it for you, or are you? I don't know.
Virtual high five, bro. Virtual high five, bro. That was good. Give me virtual high five. Thank you.
If you go back about 5-6 minutes ago, you see me here, and I just started laughing to myself as you were talking serious.
That's hilarious.
That's when the joke popped into my head.
So looks like I think we're all. So I think we're all in agreement. 76ers have no chance.
I gotta go next door, meet the landlord, gentlemen.
Okay.
Great show. Right. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay. All right, man.
Everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us. Peace.
All right, bro.
Suns and Mavericks. I think that might go 7.
Oh, and I'll see you tonight.
All right.
I'm up for
tonight.
She's
already gone. I was getting ready to talk about you. Come on, go.
I'm stupid. I sit there and listen for the first 10 seconds because I know you about to be shiesty once I leave the screen. Look at the bottom. I'm still in the chat.
Hey,
they call me Pooh Shiesty.
Pooh Shiesty.
Go ahead. What was I say?
Mavericks and Suns. I think it goes 7 because if Suns, what they had to fight with the Pelicans. I think Dallas they're going to put about the same amount of fight, hopefully, because the Mavericks, they got past Utah and Luka didn't even play the first 2 games.
What does it say about Utah?
I'm done with Utah, bro. Look,
Rudy Gobert is Rudy garbage,
bro. I've been having that discussion with people on the page. I'm like, yo, Rudy Gobert is overrated, bro.
Is Gobert French for garbage?
It must be. He's overrated in my opinion.
Yeah, he is.
And he's a $200 million max contract guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Utah get.
I think Mitchell leaves.
Oh, if I'm Mitchell, I would get the hell out of there.
I think he's gone.
Because why would I stay with this dude?
You keep underachieving.
Especially with him.
Overhyped, underachieved.
Look, Rudy Gobert, when he plays against Karl-Anthony Towns, DeAndre Ayton, Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, the top centers in the league, he gets trounced.
He looks like a deer in headlight.
He looks soft as shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody wants to say, oh, he's the defensive player of the year. He's, all team defense and rebounds and this and that. I'm like, so? Them stats don't mean shit. Because by the time he goes against competition that is better than him, he disappears.
He's soft as a croissant with his French ass.
Hey, he turns Lane Harden. He don't step up. He stepped to the side against better competition.
To the side.
Yeah, but look, that's our show today. The big homie Nick already took off. I'm about to go meet up the fam with dinner. It's definitely chow time over here in North Carolina. But look, great show today. Episode 148 is in the books. Tune in tonight. I will be up for the Wildcard Mar, the I.O.W. Sports Late Night Owl Edition. Right. Sounds like Big Nick might join me tonight. If you do, it is what it is. But look, come check us out Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Episode 149, you will see. You will see the next episode of I.O.W. Sports. Right. So on behalf of the big homie Nick Shine, the man to my left with the Grandmaster playing Detroit Mail, I am Wildcard Mar, and it's been real. Peace. Deuces.